Hello, here we go. This is my new redhead Messor Barbarus setup that I made today. So obviously that's this is the current temperature and everything inside the box, and that's the seed pod at the back I've made, which is made out of a little tub. And it's got its own sensor probe there, but that will come down, I'm hoping, because that's sitting on a cable. It's got no other moisture in there. It's got this same substrate in there, and it's got loads of seeds already. I've just scattered seeds all over the place, to be honest. I'm planning to not really mess about with them or touch them for ages, other than changing water. I've literally just connected that tube up there from Ants HQ, and this is another bamboo. I had to repair it. It's got there's clay pebbles in it because it came broken from China. Well, they're sending me a spare one actually, but I repaired that one and it works. Repaired it with a glue gun. Yeah, so I've using the what's it called? Stepped drill bit. And I've been cutting loads of holes in this thing today, all over the place on top there. Glued those down. It's got two there, one there, another one at the back. The only thing that was a real sort of specialist thing, which would have got me out of trouble, was that corner piece, which actually was supposed to be part of a drinking tube attachment for a cheap Chinese thing. It was crap anyway, it didn't really work. So it's just been lying around spare parts, but without that seed pod was going to be, it just made it take up too much space. This cable's linked a bit more underneath this bamboo tube, so I'm hoping that'll incentivise them to want to get in it. And a worker ran out when I've literally just turned the camera on, literally a minute after I did it. Just connected it up. Oh no, there's a worker there. So and at the back there. So they like the seeds. They're going for it. That's good. These are red-headed Messor Barbarus. My black-headed ones, or the normal ones you could call them, I hadn't seen them for 2 weeks. Not even. Oh, there's one. It's going up the tunnel. That's good. I'm making the most of seeing them because if they're anything like the black-headed ones, it's all action now, and then I might not see them again for ages. I saw a worker today in that one, in the black-headed one, getting a seed, and that's the first time since I gave them some protein about a week and a half ago I've even seen a single worker. But my plan, I'm not touching them till December now. I've got a few weeks before I touch them. Some of these seeds that are spread about, there's two different mixtures. One is, I think they're just chia seeds, the little black things, and the other is like a mixed seed. And I put some mixed seed into that purple thing and spread a tiny bit around, so they've got to hunt for it. But then I've crushed a sort of section of it as well. I think that's what they've got in the mouth, those white bits are crushed ones. I've heard that's supposed to make it a bit easier for them. But yeah. So this is the sort of, I spent about 2.5 hours messing about with this. Planning it and all that. I know that the humidity, which is at 60%, is too much for the seed container. But the reason for having a separate seed container is to get the humidity lower for the seeds. My household humidity generally is, well, I know that I can get it down to, where are we? I can't see at the moment. Where are we on? 57 there. That's with that size feeder and the and an 18mm tube, because the tubes make a big difference to the actual humidity in those things. 57, and it's 60 in this one. They can be lower, they can be more like 55. I've had 52 earlier on today. I've just put these pomegranate seeds in, see what they think of those. This one's always a lot higher, 64, but this is the Myrmica ruginodis, so they want it higher anyway, but it's higher because it's got the 30mm tube. And these little tiny outworlds are really sensitive. You can bang the moisture up straight away without even messing them out. There you go. Oh, we've got a load of workers out there. So they look quite happy. That's good. Yeah, so that was my sort of plan really. I don't know if that sort of feeder is going to work. It's just got water in it. I know they need extra water, loads of water. Going on the black-headed ones get through loads of water. And they don't really need any sugar water. And I've just put protein in there, just because I don't want to disturb them again. So I've just put it in now, and they may not touch it, and they may. I don't know. They've eaten the brood since they were delivered earlier on last week. Well, I couldn't see any in there. Doesn't surprise me. Yeah, that's the plan with the red-headed Messor Barbarus, is to not disturb them now. I've got enough food to last them, well, unless that water runs out. But they've got water in their test tube and water in the bamboo tube anyway, so it should last them quite a while. And that seed pod is sitting on a piece of cable, and it's got no other moisture source in there. It's got 4 vents on top, so I'm hopeful that that's going to dry out as much as it's possible to dry out in this house. I don't really know how low it'll go, but I'm just hoping. I've had it set up for about 5 hours now, trying to get the humidity down, because the substrate itself has a certain amount of humidity in it. When I put all this together, it just comes out about 80. So I'll try and get it down before I put the ants on. This connector is a shaved down, reversed, like the thing that you get from when you buy the ants. Sometimes you get these sort of stoppers in. If you shave it down, shave all the little bits off, it'll fit in a tube. You have practice before you do it, obviously, before you start putting them all out of there. And then it's got 10mm tube onto that. I've got the 10mm drill bit. We'll drill these holes 10mm. That's what these all are, which is perfect for the tubing. And these little mini outwells here, that's just a Lasius niger. I can't get them to move test tube no matter what I do. Nothing. So, you know, they've got no water at all. It's all mouldy, it's horrible, and they just don't care. So, yeah. But anyway, the other ones of these, I've got 3 of those little ones. I've put loads of extra holes in. It doesn't have to be 10mm holes. I've gone down an 8mm hole, which is perfect for the sensors. This is a sensor in a 10mm hole, so it has to have blue tack or hot glue around it to sort of stick it all together. But if I did it the right size, which I've now done on some of the others, I don't need to do that. It's like a perfect fit. Oh, and my springtail culture is doing really well. Followed the instructions from Akushi. It's got a bit kind of, so that's about 8 grains of rice, and it's gone on mouldy and furry. Look at that. The black thing there is a piece of charcoal, because I'm going to be setting up a charcoal, what's it called? Well, a charcoal set of them. Charcoal with brewer's yeast on it. So the brewer's yeast will attract them to it, they'll get on it, and then I'll just take that one piece and put it into the charcoal setup. And this slot is, I'm just breeding this in there. So that's it, that's the new Messor Barbarus setup. And if I'm going to say my piece, I'd say Messor Barbarus are not a starter ant at all. If you're a beginner and you're watching this, or you're thinking about... Oh. Phone's only just working, still going, but the flash is turned off. I've got a light. There we go. Oh, you want to see something really interesting? This is really cool. Look at that. Can I do it? Is it going to work? Yeah, here we go. The amount of eggs and brood and stuff in there. And then we've got all the pupas in there. It's really going for it in there. They are great. They've slowed down a bit, if I'm honest. I mean, they take protein. It might be because I give them a big mealworm and that was a lot for them. So they're not that active at the moment. But yeah, they're doing well. But yeah, Messor Barbarus, I would heartily not recommend them for any beginner, because if you're a beginner ant keeper, you're going to want to look at them, you want to check them out, you want to see what's going on, you want to see some action. You don't get any of that with these, or if you do, then they last about 2 weeks and then you've killed them. I've never had, I mean, I've killed 2 colonies so far. You know, well, pretty much a single queen, really, one of them, but the other one I had a sort of colony about the same size as this. I think too much vibration and me getting too excited looking at them, you know, maybe once a week. But I think the vibration, because it was in my son's cupboard, he didn't pay attention, I don't think. Yeah, that's what I think. It was either that or a grouted outworld. I'm dead against grouted outworlds, because these YouTubers that show these grouted outworlds, and it does look nice, and I fell for it, I did too. But I'm yet to see anyone who's done a sort of, oh, I put this in this grouted outworld 3 years ago and look how well it's doing. You never see it. It doesn't exist, as far as I know. I mean, I'd like to be proven wrong, because I've got grouted outworlds, expensive outworlds that I'd like to use again. But I'm convinced they slowly poison the ants, this grout does, because it's not made for ants, it's like tile grout. Yeah, that's just my idea. I mean, it may not be. I'm going to test it out again this year when the Lasius nigers come out of hibernation. Put a colony in each outworld and see if they survive the year. Although it's not that good a test really, because Lasius niger will probably survive anything. These are amazing. This is them calm, but I got these to be like a daytime version of Nikos, and they are. I mean, you turn the light on, that's when they become active. They come out running around. They're really, I mean, if you don't have the light on, you catch 2 of them guarding the entrance there. But they are amazing, these ants. These are the Camponotus auriventris. I would recommend them to anyone. Really, I mean, like, the Nikos have actually moved into the bamboo tube now. I've not disturbed them or anything. I just lifted that earlier on when I was moving these other ones. And yeah, they've actually moved into bamboo tube. I was quite amazed. And I found that the secret to revitalising or getting those Nicos doing anything was fruit flies. They haven't touched any other protein until they got live fruit flies, and then there was a worker going absolutely nuts. I turned the light, and he couldn't catch them. He was just running around bumping into them. He just couldn't catch them. I watched him for about 20 minutes. So I turned the lights out. Next morning there was none there. So hopefully they're on the turn now. But they don't half get through that. It's that super juice. There's probably a quarter of the workers of these ones, and yet they drink that juice at about 4 times the rate. It's going down at a rate of knots, whereas in here, not much at all really. These ones liked pear. Put a bit of pear in the other day. And I put some of that super juice in there just in case the feeder wasn't working, because it's not going down very fast. See whether they definitely like it out of there, and then I won't do that again, and hopefully it will carry on going down. I don't think the feeder's not working or anything, really. It's just a test. Yeah, and the black-headed Messor Barbarus at the back there. Just as I say, I saw one earlier on. That was like a treat to see a worker carrying a seed. But yeah, I'm going to watch these now, because whilst I've got some ants actually doing something in there, that's worth watching. See what happens. Anyway, thank you. Bye.